I didn't get into any races I didn't think I could win.
I think his mechanics need some work.
I'm extraordinarily efficient.
You know what? Why not try? You know what I mean?
Prime Michael Johnson, prime Usain Bolt. Who wins?
Look, if you ask any athlete at that level, they only have one answer. It's gonna be themselves. You know, you ask Usain, I've asked Usain that question, and his answer was predictably him. You know, and my answer is predictably me. The good thing for me and for him is that we don't actually have to ever do that.
Why would you win?
Look, I did not go into any race, and I had some major competitors during my time, 200 meters and 400 meters, and sometimes I went into one of those races at a disadvantage because I was just coming out of the other one. And I just always, I didn't get into any races I didn't think I could win. I think, I could rise to whatever occasion. Usain's amazing athlete, and he would have had an advantage on me a little bit out of the blocks. But, when he's slowing down at the end, he's not the most efficient at the end of the race. I'm extraordinarily efficient. I would have beaten him on speed, endurance, ability to hold my speed, and my ability to be more efficient. And I'm just going to stick to that to the day I go to my grave.
Perfect answer, because no one will ever know. So
no one will ever know. So I have that advantage. No one will ever know.
So what were the behaviors that you think got you to the top in the first place?
I think it absolutely goes beyond just, sort of the cliche, believe in yourself, When you're getting your ass handed to you, it's hard to believe in yourself, right? So, when you don't believe, and you're not going to believe in yourself every day. So the question is, what do you do, to your point, it's the how. So what do you do when, you're not believing anymore? And that's having good people around you who can pick up the slack and say, you know what, I do believe in you, and you should continue to believe in yourself. And then it's for me, it was always about the why. Why should I believe in myself? There are some significant proof points that I should believe in myself. I'm running the same sort of times that the people who are winning the medals are running. I need to do it now against them. I need to do it in those races. But it's having proven to yourself that you are capable and having evidence to back that up. If all of the evidence points to that you're not going to get there because you haven't actually delivered those performances, then it's really going to be difficult for you to believe in yourself if the evidence shows otherwise.
And before you had the first gold medal hanging around your neck, you go through almost a lonely period where you haven't got the success and the accolades, but you also haven't got the nights out with your mates and the relationships that other people have got, because you have this single-minded desire to be the fastest man on the planet. What keeps you going in that lonely period? I
was going out with my mates. I was having, I had that balance from the very beginning, which I always felt was very important. That's not to say that there weren't sacrifices. There certainly were. And it's funny because I was writing my book, Gold Rush. I interviewed all of these serial champions, and I interviewed Daley, who's a good friend of mine, Daley Thompson, who's a good friend of mine, and we were talking about sacrifice. We talk about this sort of stuff all the time, and so we were talking about, everybody always says, about sacrifice, and he's like, I don't feel like I sacrificed anything to you, and I was like, no. And so we keep talking about it, and next thing you know, we're talking about birthday parties that we missed. We talked about it, and both of us are like, it just didn't feel like a sacrifice because I'd rather be there, training, pursuing my goals than doing these other things, right? So it just didn't feel like a sacrifice, but there were sacrifices.
Look, we all know the struggle of deciding what to eat, but what if I told you that Huel can make that decision easier? Their Taster Bundle has got 8 ready-to-drink bottles, including their Black Edition, which has got 35 grams of protein, 6 daily A to Z vitamins, 8 complete nutrition bars, 2 hot savoury pots, and a free Huel t-shirt. All you have to do is click the link in the description to unlock your offer now at huel.com/highperformance. Obviously, you didn't really get a chance to compete at the top level against MJ, and we actually had him on the podcast a few weeks ago. I asked him who would win, Michael Johnson in his prime or Usain Bolt in his prime. What do you think he said?
I'm sure he said him.
Yeah.
For sure.
And what do you say?
I'm sure. There's no way he's going to beat me. There's no way. I remember one of the funniest videos. I remember in '08. I don't remember who he was. I think it was BBC he was broadcasting with. And if you go on the net, you can find this video. And the reaction, they were asking him, oh, what do you think? Is he going to break the record? And he was like, no, I think his mechanics need some work, and he needs to work on this, and it take him 2 more years before he gets to the world record, maybe. And then in the same day, I broke the world record. So it was funny, and the reaction is good, and it was good. It's one of my best videos. I watch it every now and then.
I remember seeing a quote of yours once that was, I don't think limits.
Yeah.
I think that plays so nicely to high performance. Can you explain that to us?
So for me, I remember it was after the 200 meters. That was when I really thought about it, because in '08, the world record was for Michael Johnson. It was very far. I was running okay. And I remember sitting down with my roommate at the time, Maurice Smith, and we were having a conversation, and he's like, are you gonna go for the 200 world record? And I go, that's hard to get. And he goes, yo, why not? You know what I mean? You just jogged the world record in 100 meters. Why not go for the 200 meters? And I sat down and we were going back and forth, and I was like, you know what? Why not try? You know what I mean? Because I limited myself. Because I said to myself, there's no way I'm gonna break this 200 meter world record, because I wasn't running that fast, and I was like, there's no way. But that was me limiting myself. And after that, that was when I was like, you know what? Anything is possible, don't think limits. So from then on, I never limit myself, you know what I mean? Never said it cannot be done. You know what I mean? You have to try and figure out ways to get there. So that's where that quote comes from. Yeah.
So you've got 8 Olympic gold medals now, you're saying. What was the key to the longevity of this? And do you think anyone else could ever come close to doing a three-peat?
I think it's possible. You know what I mean? I did it. As the same thing we just talked about. You can't limit yourself to anything. The moment you limit yourself and say, oh, this is untouchable, that's the moment that you have already lost. You know what I mean? So it is possible. If somebody starts at an early age and say, listen, this is my goal. I will beat the Usain Bolt records. I will do 4 Olympics back to back and work towards and be dedicated, then it is possible. But for me, it was talent, hard work, it was sacrifice, it was tough times, it was teamwork. I had a great team around me. It was so much things together that actually made this possible, because it wasn't an easy road. And I've always explained to people, like, listen, I think failure is a part of it. You have to fail and you have to go through tough times to be stronger, you know what I mean? Because it only makes you better and it only makes you want to work harder. So it's something that I went through. It started good, but I have scoliosis in my back, so it was an issue that always bothers me throughout my career, but it's something that I managed very well. And it was just a tough time, but as I said, I had the right team, the dedication, the hard work, the sacrifice, and everything just came together with time, and it really helped.